Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to look at Compare and Order Lesson 3, Rounding of Whole Numbers. Now, it's obviously not comparing and it's not ordering, but we can compare and order numbers easier if we round them first. So that's why I've kind of lumped this into that category. So let's look at the steps. First, step 1, identifying the place that's value that's being rounded. Sometimes it'll be underlined, and sometimes they'll say round to the nearest hundreds. Okay, step 2, then look behind that number. Whatever number you're rounding, look at the number right behind it. Okay, step 3, if it has a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then the number that you're rounding, the number in front of it, is going to go up. But if you have 4, 3, 2, 1, or a 0, the number in front of that number you're rounding, so the one in front of the number you're looking at, stays the same. Now, here's where it gets tricky. A lot of people mess this part up. If there's any numbers behind the number being rounded, they all turn to zeros. If there's any numbers in front, they all stay exactly the same. So let me show you how this works. So we have a 9 here. So we're going to look backwards at the 2. So I'm looking at the 2, and I see that 2 is one of those numbers that the number will stay the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my 9 because the 9's staying the same. Now remember, numbers behind turn to zeros. Numbers in front stay exactly the same. Let's try another one. Here's my 4. I'm going to look back at the 3. 3 is one of those numbers where the number stays the same. Numbers behind it become 0. The numbers in front stay the same. Okay, let's do this again. Here we're rounding the hundreds place. So I'm looking back at the 2. I see 300 is going to stay the same, and I'll put zeros behind it. I mean, the 3 is going to stay the same. Yeah, I'm going to put the zeros behind it. And the 8 stays the same in front of it. All right, here we're rounding the tens. Let's look back. Here, look at this. I have a 5. 5 is one of those numbers. So 4 is going to go up a number. Well, what's the next number you count to? Well, we always count to 5 after 4. Number behind 0. Numbers in front stay the same. Okay, let's practice it some more on the next one. Looking back at the 4, I see the 9's going to stay the same. 0 behind, numbers in front the same. Okay, looking back, hey, look, the 6 is going to tell the 9 or the 8 to turn to 9. Number behind becomes a 0. 6, 3, 6 in front stays the same. Here we go. Here we have another 6. So this is going to become 3. Number behind becomes 0. 7 in front. We have a 3 here that we're looking at. So 2 is going to stay the same. Now there's 2 numbers behind this 2. So I have to have 2 zeros. And this number in front stays the same. 1 tells the 5 to stay the same. Add those 2 zeros for the 2 places. Okay, looking back at the 3. 8 stays the same. 8, 5, 2 in front stay the same. All right, now it is your turn to practice. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try these, and then I want you to come back. Couple things you should do. First off, 1 is the one we're rounding. There should be a number back here. Okay, so go ahead and pause it. Come back and see if you got them correctly. All right, so you should have looked at the 1 and seen that the 8 is going to stay the same. 0 behind, 2,400 in front. Okay, looking at the 2, the 8 stays the same with the 0 behind. 9 and 7 in front. 8 looks back at the 6. 6 tells it to turn a 9. We're going to keep the 8 in front, but the 2 numbers behind become 0. Looking back at the 9, the 1 becomes a 2. I have 2 zeros behind and 2 in front. Okay, looking behind, I have a 7, so 5 turns up to 6. 2 numbers behind, numbers in front stay the same. Looking at the 6, the 4 becomes a 5. 2 numbers behind, Numbers in front stay the same. All right, great job. You are done with Compare and Order Lesson 3. Go ahead and move on to class craft and continue on your pathway. I'll see you back here for multiplication lesson 1.